What up, guys? Back again with another UFC Fight Picks video on the UFC Fight Night card, Poirier versus Gaethje. Let's go ahead and get started here on this card. I'm going to be giving you guys some quick picks, so let's go ahead and get started. First fight of the night, we got Luke Sanders versus Patrick Williams on the Fight Pass prelims. So I'm going to go ahead and take Luke Sanders in this matchup. He's just the better fighter overall. Better striking, good takedowns, lots of volume also. He just should be the way better fighter here in this matchup. Don't know too much about Patrick Williams. I think he's just a wrestler. Let me check here real quick. Yeah, wrestling and speed. His last fight, he got knocked down in the second round. Before that, he got a win against Alejandro Perez, and before that, he gets knocked out in the second round. So this guy's chin also looks to be a little bit questionable. Sanders has good power, and like I said, I think he's the better striker. So I just expect Sanders to, dominate this fight, and I also see another knockout happening here. So I'll say Sanders, second round KO. Next fight, we got Matthew Lopez versus Alejandro Perez. I'm gonna go ahead and take Matthew Lopez in this matchup. I just think he's the better fighter here. Has good wrestling, so he's gonna be able to mix in the striking and the takedowns. His boxing's not that bad either. His chin sometimes looks a little bit suspect, so that could be a problem. But Alejandro Perez, this guy, he doesn't really come out to fight most of the time he fights. Like, he really likes to just hang back, just kind of likes to outpoint people, not take too much damage. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about Perez really knocking out Matthew Lopez here. So I'll take Matthew Lopez here. I think, like I said, he's gonna win the fight with his boxing and with the takedowns, with that wrestling. So I'll say Lopez by decision. Next fight, we got Arjun Muller versus Adam Weeksarek. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Arjun in this matchup. Undefeated fighter, excellent wrestling, good power, improving that striking against Adam, a guy who his takedown offense isn't that good, and he couldn't even knock out Anthony Hamilton, so he has no power, and I don't see how he's going to be able to threaten Arjun here on the feet much. So I say Arjun's probably going to get those takedowns, just beat him up on the ground, probably win by decision. So Muller by decision. Next fight, we got Diego Lima versus Yushin Okami. Kind of a close fight, but I'm going to go ahead and take Diego Lima here in this matchup. I think he is the underdog. Let me check. Yeah, he's a slight underdog, plus 100. Anyways, yeah, Diego Lima, very good striker, way better striking here compared to Yushin Okami. The only problem with Diego Lima is his chin. Takedown defense also isn't that great, but mostly it's that chin. Usually when this guy loses, you got to pretty much knock him out. And Okami, he's getting older, doesn't have as much power, not a good striker, and he just really likes to grapple and just kind of likes to wrestle people. So, I mean, maybe Okami could win the fight here with the wrestling, but I feel like Lima's going to be able to, know that's coming. He's going to be able to stop the takedowns, keep it on the feet, and eventually actually knock out Yushin Okami. So I'll take Diego Lima here, second round KO. Next fight, Shayna Dobson versus Lauren Miller. So I don't know anything about these two girls, so I can't really give you guys a pick. But I mean, just as a quick pick, I'm gonna go ahead and take Lauren Miller. More likely, she's probably just gonna get the job done. Undefeated fighter, has submission skills. So yeah, like I said, don't know too much about these fighters, but I'll take Muller by decision. Moving on to the featured fight on the Fight Pass prelims. Gilbert Burns versus Dan Moret. Very easy pick. I'm taking Gilbert Burns. Very good jiu-jitsu game. I mean, as soon as it gets to the ground, this guy's always, getting submission wins. Improving his striking, but I mean, his submission game is his, his bread and butter pretty much. So, yeah, I see him taking Moret down to the ground and getting the submission win early in the fight, probably second round. So, I'll say Gilbert Burns, second round submission. So now we're on to the Fox prelims. We got Jocko versus Brad Tavares. Jocko is... it's pretty much an even fight. I don't think it should be even fight. I feel like Jocko is the better fighter here by far. To me, he's more well-rounded. He's a more precise striker. He also knows how to outpoint people. He knows how to win fights. So, yeah, I just see him winning this fight right here. Tavares is also kind of a similar, but he's just not as good. And, yeah, I just feel like Jocko's going to be able to outpoint him, outstrike him, and win by decision. Next fight, we got Wilson Hayes versus John Moraga. I'm gonna go ahead and take John Moraga here in this matchup. He's fighting, in his hometown pretty much. He's a very slight underdog. Wilson Hayes has been losing his last 2 fights. He's been getting smashed. Cejudo knocked him out. Hasn't been looking good at all. And Moraga has some power, and he's coming off a really good win against that Russian flyweight who was a prospect, and he knocked him out in the first round very quickly. So Moraga got a nice little win streak going. He got some momentum, and Wilson Hayes isn't looking good. So I think Moraga gets it done in his hometown, or whatever, in his home state. And yeah, I think he gets the win here. I don't know about the knockout, but it could happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say Moraga by decision. Next fight, we got Muslim Salikov versus Ricky Rainey. I'll go ahead and take Salikov in this matchup. He's the better striker. He is also the favorite, -190. Salikov had a bad matchup in his first fight in the UFC, in his UFC debut against Alex Garcia. A very strong welterweight, very bulky, very strong, and has really good ground game. And he was able to just take down Salikov down to the ground, and that's how he won the fight. Salikov's takedown defense isn't that great, but this matchup here, I think, I wouldn't say it's made for him, but it's more easier for him to get his striking going. So I just see Salikov winning this fight on the feet. I see him getting also a knockout, probably in the second round. So yeah, that's how I see that fight playing out. I see it being on the feet, Salikov being the better striker, and getting that KO. So Salikov, second round knockout. Featured fight on the Fox prelims. He got Tim Boetsch against Antonio Carlos Jr. I'm going to take Carlos Jr. in this matchup. I just feel he's the better fighter. Has been looking very good lately. He's a big 185er. Excellent submission game. Tim Boetsch, not really good, on his back or on the ground, actually. Tim Boetsch has, really good takedown defense. And he has some power, though. So, I mean, if he's able to stop the takedowns, the fight could get interesting. But don't forget that Carlos Jr. still has that reach, and I see him using it. So, yeah, either way, I see this fight, being kind of an easy win for Carlos Jr. So I'll take Carlos Jr. And I'm going to say probably third round submission. All right, now we're on to the main card here, guys. We got Michelle Waterson versus Courtney Casey. So I'm going to take Waterson in this matchup. Let's see the odds. So she's actually a plus 130 underdog. I don't know why Courtney Casey, is really, I guess, that high there as a favorite. I feel like Waterson is the better striker, excellent movement. Also has some really underrated takedowns, 2.6 takedown average and 90.91% takedown accuracy. So her takedowns are good. And as you guys can see right there, Courtney Casey has bad takedown defense. So we could see Waterson using her striking, either just beating her up on the feet, just outstriking Casey on the feet, just being the faster, better striker, or also mixing in those takedowns. Also, Waterson has some a good submission game. So, I just feel like Waterson should actually be the favorite here. So I'll take Waterson here all day, and I'll say more than likely she wins by decision. All right, guys. Next fight, we got one of the most talked about prospects here. Israel Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. This guy has all wins by knockout. Excellent finisher, excellent striker. Kind of looks like John Jones. Very long reach. And, man, he's very confident, very good striker. Fighting against Marvin Vettori, who is kind of like, I'm going to say kind of like a well-rounded fighter. He's kind of good everywhere or okay everywhere, but he's not like the best at anything. Does have a lot of submission wins, though. So, I mean, we know he does have a submission game here. And that submission game could kind of counter Israel's striking game. But I feel like Israel's going to be able to keep the fight on the feet. I feel like he's going to be able to do some damage on the feet against Vettori and more likely get like a second round knockout. I think maybe the first round will be tough. Just like Israel's UFC debut, where that first round was tough, the guy was getting takedowns, but in the second round, he starts pouring it on, and that's it. He just smashes you. So yeah, I feel like Israel will get the win, and I think he gets that second round knockout. Next fight, we got Carlos Condit versus Alex Cowboy Oliveira. I'm gonna go ahead and just take Carlos Condit here. He is the underdog, so he's a sleeper here, obviously. Plus 170. Oliveira is a solid favorite, even him coming in as a short notice replacement. Oliveira has really good takedowns and also has some good striking and also has power. So, I mean, kind of does make sense why he's the favorite. And also, Condit hasn't been looking too great lately. The reason I'm picking Condit is because I think he's going to come more well prepared in this fight compared to the Neil Magny fight. And I feel like this is a better stylistic matchup compared to Neil Magny. Neil Magny is kind of like more of a grinding wrestler guy. Oliveira, he'll take you down, but he'll also, strike with you. And that's where I think Condit you get the better of him on the feet. So I think it's going to be a tough fight for Condit. I mean, like I said, Oliveira mixes in those takedowns, but he is an underdog for a reason. But I feel like he'll be able to get it done. And if he doesn't win this fight, then more than likely I will not be picking Condit ever again. So yeah, hopefully Condit gets it done. He says he's coming in hungry. He says he's all in the interview. So yeah, hopefully Condit comes out to bang, and he gets a win here. So anyways, my official pick would just be Carlos Condit by decision. All right, guys. Now we're on to the main event. We got Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. Two good strikers. Justin Gaethje, I mean, this guy is a fucking, he's a tank. Pretty durable, really good chin, but he did get knocked out his last fight against Eddie Alvarez, and I actually thought Justin Gaethje was kind of like a better version of Alvarez, and yet he still lost the fight. So that kind of sucked when I picked Gaethje in that matchup. But now we got Dustin Poirier here, a more sharper striker, more precise. We'll also mix in some takedowns here and then, or here and now, I mean. But yeah, Poirier's a beast, good power, and I think he's the better striker here in this matchup. Justin Gaethje has some good kicks and has heavy hands, but he's more of a brawler, whereas Poirier is a more technical striker. And he's been looking pretty good lately. The only problem with Poirier is he has that chin, and man, whenever he fights someone that has knockout power, this guy could get slept at any moment, it feels like. So that's a worry here, but I feel like Poirier has tightened up that game, hopefully. So, if he's able to, block those strikes early, avoid the power early, just outstrike Justin Gaethje on the feet, he should for sure win this matchup. Like I said, he's for sure the more technical fighter. Justin Gaethje never really likes to wrestle either, even though he is a wrestler. So I don't really see him all of a sudden wanting to mix in wrestling here. Even then, I think Poirier does have a decent submission game just in case. But more than likely, this fight's going to be on the feet. Should be a fun fight. And I do see someone getting finished here. So if Poirier doesn't get the win, then for sure Gaethje's going to knock him out. But it could also go the other way. Gaethje just got slept, and Poirier has power, and he has really accurate striking. So yeah, I like Poirier here in this matchup. It should be a fun fight, but I'm gonna be taking Poirier. He actually is a slight favorite also. So yeah, I'll say Poirier probably by, I'm gonna say third round knockout. So that's gonna be it, guys, for my UFC fight picks here. Went through them pretty quick. The only fight, like I said, I really didn't study or look at too much was this fight because I'm not too familiar with both of these fighters. But like I said, I think more than likely anyway, Lauren will probably win the fight. But you guys could just ignore that pick anyway if you guys want to. But yeah, guys, those are my picks. Let me give you guys my most confident pick. Would have to be, where are you? I'm gonna say Carlos Jr., Gilbert Burns, and Buller. Those are my top three most confident picks. Least confident pick would have to be, I'm gonna say, I'll just say Carlos Condit. I think he could let me down. I mean, like I said, it hasn't been looking that great, but you know, hopefully he comes through this time. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for the picks. Subscribe for more. Yeah, post your guys' picks below in the comments. Let me see who you guys picked. Let me know what you guys think about my picks. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So enjoy the fights, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.